Hi everybody, welcome back to another ROG Ally video, and in this one we're going to be looking at Grand Theft Auto 5 because kind of if you're into video games, Grand Theft Auto 5 kind of is one of the touchstones, isn't it, of performance, and of course it has been released on every platform since the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, and with numerous next-gen upgrades and different ways of getting more money off you, and so it's only natural that you'd want to play this on a handheld. Now remember, the video that I'm making here is using the Asus ROG Ally non-extreme version. This isn't the full-fat extreme ROG Ally. This is the non-extreme one, which at the moment anyway, I don't think you can buy this new in the UK anymore, but you can definitely get it in the States, in the USA. And actually, if you see it at Best Buy, I would say go to Best Buy, look up the ROG Ally, and make a favourite of the page that it's on. And on the page that it's on, there's a there'll be the full fat ROG Ally, and there'll be the non-extreme version, which is this one, because they do go down in price. For a few hours at Easter, they went down to $299, which is a bargain for this little thing. Now, in order to get it to work, I think, with a performance that is really nice, what you do is you, instead of running the 1080p screen that it comes with at 1080p, you run it at 720p, 60 hertz, and this means that, you know, games run much smoother. You'll also have to forgive me with the fact that I'm no Grand Theft Auto 5 expert. I never really played it that much. In all of my video game creators, I've always had a copy of it from the Xbox 360, PlayStation 4. I don't think I've got a version of the next gen version for Xbox Series S and X, but I've always had it on the PC. Now, what's interesting about this version as well is this is the Epic Game Store version, because Epic Game Store gave away Grand Theft Auto 5 a couple of years ago, so that's why I have a copy of it on PC. And of course the PC version never really needed a next gen update because well, it was next gen anyway, wasn't it? So I'm not an expert, so all we're really going to do is we kind of had a bit of a walk around there so you can kind of see what's going on, and we're going to take a car out for a spin and maybe get down. But I'll tell you what, let's have a look at some of the settings so you can just see what I'm running at. So where we got graphics. Now, the thing that's a bit odd is we're only using 1244 megabytes of just under 8 megabytes. So this tells me that maybe we could push the graphics in Grand Theft Auto 5 on the non-extreme version of the Ally a little bit further. But anyway, so 1280 by 720, aspect ratio is auto, refresh rate is at 60 hertz. FXAA is on, MSAA is on, VSync is on. I've got maximum population density, population variety maximum, distance scaling is just over half. We're basically on normal settings for everything. And then we've got ×2 anthroposcopic, ambient inclusion normal, tessellation normal, and that kind of stuff. And we're getting up to 60 frames a second, but this, you know, at the moment this screen is 60 frames a second is the maximum that you can get out of it. And we will get dips down to sort of 30 when we're in built up areas or lots of things are going on. And I guess one of the things you would do is you could turn down the crowd density, can't you, as you're going along. So this is the car that I stole earlier. So let's jump in and go for a drive, if I remember how to get in. It's a little more comfortable in my hands. Go to first person. There we go. Now I haven't got the radio on, because of obviously copyright. I want to be able to have ads on this video on YouTube. Now the ROG Ally, the non-extreme or the extreme version, both have a beautiful variable refresh rate screen, which means that as the frames do dip, it still looks good because the screen matches itself to what the game's kicking out, and that really is a big advantage, even over like the Steam Deck OLED, I think. And it is a very good LCD screen as well. You know, the brights are really bright. I think one of the things about the Steam Deck OLED is that when it came out just before Christmas, you know, and I have one, I have a Steam Deck OLED, because the screen was so much better than the original Steam Deck. That said a lot really about the fact that the original screen on the Steam Deck was rubbish. Not the fact that the Steam Deck OLED screen was absolutely amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, the OLED screen is a nice screen. It's very, very bright with the HDR, you know, and looks very, very nice. But a good LCD, especially variable refresh rate LCD, is very good. And I would be more than happy to have this variable refresh rate LCD screen on my Steam Deck rather than the HDR OLED sort of. You can change the frame rate, but it's not variable refresh rate. As you can see, this is running nice. Well, we get about 50 frames a second. Looks amazing. Playing this like this, I mean, I probably haven't played Grand Theft Auto for about 2 years. I never really got very far in it. But this really makes me want to jump back in. It's giving me Cyberpunk 2077 vibes. I know that's a bit silly because it's really Cyberpunk 2077 should give you Grand Theft Auto 5 vibes. That's the kind of way it works, isn't it? But I played all the way through Cyberpunk 2077, not including the new DLC. And I never did that with Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, this all looks very nice, doesn't it? It all looks very smooth. It's the ambient sounds, isn't it? The ambient sounds are what make this so good. So I'll tell you what, let's park up, let's hop out, let's just walk around for a bit, again to give you an idea of the smoothness. So if you look in the top right, top of the screen in the middle, you'll see that you should just be able to see the FPS counter. I know it's a bit difficult on these videos where, ooh, I should run over there. But it's very, very crisp, it's very, very smooth. Looks fantastic. Hey, buddy. It's funny how these videos, they kind of start off with the idea of, does Grand Theft Auto, or does a particular game play on, in this case, the ROG Ally, or it could be the Steam Deck, to then we change it to, does it play well? And is it a good game to play? Because remember, whenever we're playing these games, we're playing the PC version of them as well, not the console version. That's really important, because console versions sometimes can be a little bit hobbled, and also, you know, you don't have the ability to do things like modding and things like that. But with the beauty with the ROG Ally, you know, this is a Windows 11 PC, you know, that just happens to be handheld, that has controllers already kind of stuck onto it. I remember first playing Grand Theft Auto and thinking, oh man, you can go through all the doors. But you can't, can you? Maybe that's what will be coming with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out next year, I believe, 2025. Let's walk behind some NPCs. Language. Looks so good, doesn't it? So I think I've given you a good... Hello, ladies.
Guys always turn my nipples like it's a stereo dial. You don't have to tell me.
Okay. Right, I'll... you should...
My ass has been pounded 8 ways from Sunday. I hear you.
Okay, fair enough. I think I've given you a good idea, haven't you, about Grand Theft Auto on the ROG Ally non-extreme version. Obviously, if you've got the extreme version, you'll be running at 1080p and it'll be running very, very well indeed. But, you know, as I've said in lots of these videos, if you're on a budget and you see the non-Ally version going for a song like $300, or let's say they release this in the UK again and they release it for, say, £300, when you think a Steam Deck OLED is like 512GB is 480, that would be, it's a very good offer. And all you've got to remember to do is, you know, just run it at 720p. Games still look great, and the desktop still looks great at 720p. And you can get more than acceptable performance out of many games, and you get longer battery life. The device itself is cooler, and it's very, very nice indeed. So there we go. Grand Theft Auto 5 running lovely on the Asus ROG Ally non-extreme version. What do you think though? Put your questions and comments down below. Hit like if you've enjoyed the video. Press subscribe if you want to see more of the same. And I will of course see you again soon.